Last night at the NFL Honors Ceremony, Josh Allen was named MVP. He became the first player in the NFL to record at least 25 touchdown passes, 10 touchdown runs, and fewer than 10 interceptions. He won the award over Lamar Jackson, despite Lamar besting him in nearly every statistical category. Allen received 27 of the 50 for more than Lamar, the smallest voting margin since 2003. My goodness. Since the NFL MVP was first awarded in 1957, Allen becomes just the third player to win the award in a season in which they were not named first team All-Pro. Okay, a lot to unpack here. Super Bowl champ Ryan Clark, our guy here. RC, this is interesting. Tell me this. Do you feel like Josh Allen should have won MVP?
No, I believe that Lamar Allen was Lamar Jackson.
So co-MVP.
I wanted co-MVPs, right? Lamar Jackson was the MVP, and I talked about that during the season. But I also spoke about voter fatigue, and Shay knows this. He loves GOAT James. LeBron James should have more MVPs than he does, and I think sometimes these great players, these all-time great talents, begin to compete against themselves, and I think that's where Lamar Jackson is as well. It's also a narrative-driven award. Coming into the season, the narrative was that Josh Allen didn't have the requisite pieces around him to have an AFC championship contending team. And so if this team did play well enough to get there, then obviously Josh Allen went exceedingly above what this roster was. And the other piece of it was moments, right? Cam Newton had Heisman Trophy moments. He had MVP moments. That's why he got those awards. When you beat the Kansas City Chiefs and they're undefeated and you're the only team to truly beat them this season, you score on fourth down. That's a moment. When you go to L.A. and even though you lose, you put up 6 touchdowns. And now you play the Detroit Lions and you become one of the only teams to beat them as well, and you excel in that game. I believe some of those reasons are the reason he won. The problem is this. If you're going to stand on it, stand on it. If the same voters think you the MVP, then you got to be the best quarterback in the league if we're telling everybody you're the most valuable quarterback in the league.
That's where it gets shaky. Right? It's like, yo, you're the MVP, but you're not first team All-Pro?
How is that possible?
Yeah.
Hello. How is that possible?
We need answers.
Stephen A., we talked about this, and you've talked, we and I said, how is Mark Gasol the defensive player of the year, and he's second team all defensive? LeBron is first team. So you don't give it to a guy that's on the first team. Right. You give it to a guy that's on the second team. Lamar, I'm like, hold on. Now, the only thing I was like, well, maybe Saquon's going to win the MVP because that'll be like, Derrick Henry is second team All-Pro running back, but offensive player of the year is Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
But voter fatigue feels like an injustice. That feels like it's a personal thing. That's about me being sick of it. That's not about the player.
You're right.
And that's not right.
Well, they didn't get fatigued to give it to Gretzky because he won it 9 times in a row.
Yeah.
So it just seems like it's in certain sports where they have voter fatigue. They didn't have fatigue of Shohei because keep winning it.
Right.
But I just look, and this is not a knock. And sometimes when you say, well, we think this guy should win.
That's the problem.
You're trying to poop on the other guy. That's not what I'm saying. We've had co-MVPs before, Stephen A. Steve McNair and Peyton Manning were co-MVPs. Mm-hmm. We've had Rookie of the Years in the NBA with Jason Kidd and Grant Hill. It's okay because it's just hard for me to see a scenario where one guy is first team All-Pro at the quarterback position. The second team quarterback beats him for the MVP. We should have just let Josh Allen be the first team quarterback.
Well, here's what I would say to y'all. And listen, I would have had no problem with the co-MVP. I would have had no problem if Lamar Jackson won the MVP. But I don't have a problem with Josh Allen winning it either. And we got to remember this as well. We say that we don't understand, but Josh Allen received 383 votes. Lamar Jackson received 362. So you have an abundance of people voting. So you might say the consistency that you're pointing to has more substance if it's the same voter. But, of the 383 or the 362, they might have felt the same way about Lamar Jackson being a league MVP, and the others might have felt the way they felt about Josh Allen. It's all about throwing it out there. In the end, here's what I think. You look at Lamar Jackson coming into this season, there were huge expectations for the Baltimore Ravens because they were loaded.
Yes.
There weren't huge expectations. We talked about Miami potentially with Tua if he were healthy. We talked about the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. We thought that the Buffalo Bills were going to nosedive because Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis and you had a rookie out there. You didn't acquire Amari Cooper until midway through the season. but Josh Allen flat out balled. And so when we look at it from that standpoint, you got to take into account the level of expectations that were not placed on his shoulders. He's viewed as somebody who exceeded expectations. Lamar Jackson is viewed as somebody who lived up to expectations. And in some cases, that's what determines you getting the MVP.
Right, and that's why I said Lamar Jackson is playing against himself, though. He's competing against who he has been throughout his career. Because he's 1-2, because you expect, because of his high level of play, that's why the expectations are high for Baltimore. Because you're adding Derrick Henry to what Lamar Jackson has already proved. And that's why I said it's about the narrative. Josh Allen wasn't supposed to compete at this high of a level as far as it pertained to team success. He was able to do that. He changed his game. He protected the football.
He did.
I don't think that any of us sit here and say to ourselves that Josh Allen didn't play at an MVP caliber level, because he did. And getting this award is in no way them poo-pooing the award and not saying that Josh Allen doesn't deserve it. But what I'm saying is I believe Lamar Jackson had the better individual year, and that's the reason Lamar Jackson was first-team All-Pro.
But y'all all point, because y'all played the game, I didn't. Y'all all point to coaching. You point to what's happening on the other side of the ball. When we looked at the Baltimore Ravens and we had expectations for them, it wasn't just because of Lamar Jackson. It was because of the supplementary parts surrounding him on both sides of the ball, along with coaching, whereas McDermott was on a hot seat. The defense was revamped. The offensive receiving core was revamped. And Josh Allen still went out there and got them to the AFC Championship game.
But we did have expectations for Lamar. Did we have 41 touchdowns and less than 5 interceptions with 900 yards rushing?
No.
He exceeded the expectation. It's like we have expectations for LeBron. LeBron has exceeded expectations. No matter what you placed on him, he's exceeded them. No matter what we thought of Lamar Jackson, nobody thought Lamar could, because only Aaron Rodgers have gone 40-plus touchdowns and fewer than 5 interceptions. So we're talking about a historically great season. 40-plus touchdowns, fewer than 5 interceptions, 900 yards rushing.
Okay, this award is a season award.
Yes.
Regular
Meaning
season.
regular season. It has nothing to do with the playoffs.
Nothing.
Can I just change, move the goalpost real quick? What if the Baltimore Ravens would have went to the Super Bowl?
They still wouldn't have won it.
That's what I'm saying.
They still wouldn't have won it.
Like that's how I'm looking at it through the lens of yo, hold on, wait. If the Baltimore Ravens, just a thought, if they would have went to the Super Bowl and this would have happened, this would have been an uproar.
No, the thing is this, though. If he goes to the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter. That's more the problem than anything with Lamar, is that we expect this type of play from him during the season. And we have to come to expect, or he has to raise his level of play in the playoffs. So it's not even a conversation. Because I do believe people have seen it so many times through 17 games that they come to expect it. And we aren't excited about it anymore. For Lamar Jackson, he doesn't care about this award. He cares about whether or not he gets a ring. And that's what our conversation is going to be all next season, even if he throws for 50 tutties.
100%. All right, we'll leave it there. Hey, what do you guys think? Who should have won MVP? Looks like it's a mixed bag. All right, plenty more to come live from
a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7. 7 yards the pickup there. 3 yards remain for second down. Fitzpatrick now. Slings this deep from McLaurin. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And from where we sit, if you had told me that that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot, and he still dropped it right on the money, too.
And that ball traveling 68 yards in the air, according to next. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football.
That's what it is, baby. That's
and he will score. Touchdown, Washington. John Bates. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And Washington has tied the ball game with the extra point still to come. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And with that, his guys take the lead here by a point. And they'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
3rd and long, it's Smith escaping the pressure right. Slings this deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the Buffalo Bills. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from FedEx Field. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.